Hello vinyl community, welcome. And for anyone else that's stumbled upon this video, another fat bearded man talking about records, otherwise known as Hedley. This is going to be a video which is the second part, was it the third part? Gosh, time flies, doesn't it? Second or third, I forget which is covering a record haul and bits and pieces that I've picked up recently. Huddersfield, my favourite record shop, the Vinyl Tap, and some places like Manchester, and some stuff on the internet, and at least one present, and one present to myself. So I'm going to not say what I normally say, which is I normally say, and without further ado, but I won't say it this time. So, moving on, I'll get straight to it. So this is the first one, and I hold Big Star 1000, Fred, entirely responsible for this purchase. Damn you, Fred! Love you really, thanks. And this is I've been doing some of the videos you might have seen for his Gimme 10 series. Periodically, the one that when I can kind of find enough records that I think deserve showing, and I also watch his other Revolutions videos, and he showed in one of those recently a couple or one or two early Bell and Sebastian EPs, and I agree completely with Fred. He said that they are some of the best sort of indie rock pop ever produced, and I would stand by that. Now I don't have, and I didn't have, any Bell and Sebastian in my collection. I've long thought about picking up at least one of their albums. For those of you who perhaps don't know Bell and Sebastian, they're a Scottish indie group. Still going. They've been going for probably well over 20 years now, or getting on for 20 years. In fact, their first album they produced was done at art school, where they were a music school, whereas a project for a lot of them when they were studying for their degree, and the marketing of it was all part of the course. Anyway, so I've been thinking about buying one of their albums, and to tell you the truth, those EPs are probably the best stuff they've produced. The Dog on Wheels EP, Lazy Line Painter Jane. This is just a modern rock song. Brilliant stuff. And I'd seen on Facebook, I've been bombarded with pop-ups about a new collection, a box set of the singles, but it's a ridiculous price and I'm not going to be paying that. But I saw this, and this is Push Barman to Open Old Wounds. You see the album here, it's got the sign Push Bar to Open, but it's Push Bar Man to Open Old Wounds, yes. And it is a compilation of their first 6 or 7 EPs and singles. Exactly what I was looking for. It's 3 discs, and it is brilliant. So yeah, the Dog on Wheels, State I'm In, Lazy Line Painter Jane, put the book back on the shelf. This is just a modern rock song. Yeah. Legal Man. Judy is a dick slap. Take Your Carriage Clock and Shove It. That's a favourite of mine. Marx and Engels. Yeah, really good stuff. If you're looking to introduce yourself to Bell and Sebastian, you can't go far wrong with this. You can pick up the CD really cheap. Give it a test. Bell and Sebastian, love them. Okay, this is something I picked up in a little charity shop somewhere called Weatherby, and this is Glenn Gould playing J.S. Bach's The Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. My research tells me that Bach wrote these pieces published a book in in 1722, of 24 pieces for keyboard. Of course, the piano hadn't been invented by then. And each one of the 24 pieces is in one of the 24 keys that you could play in. So it's kind of a test. It's kind of an exercise for keyboard players. And this is a recording by Glenn Gould, who was a Canadian pianist, probably the most famous orchestral or classical pianist of the 20th century. Probably most famous for his work with Bach. I don't mean with, of course, he'd never met him. I mean, he took Bach's work. The other one is the Goldberg Variations. Now, the only problem with this is the first book, which is 1 to 24, and there is a second recording, which I want to get, because this is beautiful stuff. Just the most exquisite piano work. If you haven't heard this, it's beautiful. A collection of just some of the finest music ever written. Okay, still a bit classical. This is, I got this from my partner's sister for a birthday present recently. And this is, let me see if I can say this. Die drei Groschen Opera. Die drei Groschopper. Die drei Groschopper. Or I'll stop doing that. Sorry. For any Germans out there, I do apologise. I did this on my last videos, trying to speak French as well. I should really stop it. The Threepenny Opera by Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht. Or as it says on here, Bert Brecht. I like that. That's rather formal, isn't it? Or informal, sorry. This is a musical, an opera, written, first performed in 1928, I understand. And it's probably most famous for having the song Mac the Knife in it, and Pirate Jenny. This is a version in German. So as you found out earlier, I don't speak German, so it's just nice to hear, how it originally sounded. It's got Lotte Lenya playing the part of Jenny in it, and Lotte Lenya was married to Bertolt Brecht, and sort of made a career after Brecht's death of singing a lot of his music, performing in a lot of his plays, and it's Threepenny Opera. You don't really need to know, but it's a reworking of John Gay's The Beggar's Opera, set in London. It's a socialist critique of capitalism. In the end, should I tell you this? Macheath gets away with it. He gets pardoned on the... he's going to be hung, and he gets pardoned by the Queen, or the King, can't remember which. And I recently saw this by our National Theatre, and it was a cracking production. If you haven't seen the Threepenny Opera, it's worth checking out. Okay, back to some more familiar kind of stuff, some country stuff. This is the Lonesome Strangers, the Lonesome Pine, and they are a group. This is from 1980. 87, and then this is from released in 1988 as repress, and they were a group from sort of California, doing a kind of a rootsy, rocky version of country. The two main singers have a wonderful kind of Everly Brothers, Delmore Brothers harmony stuff thing going on, so that's an extra kind of bit that they have. The interesting thing about this is we've got on here, it says, as you can see, what is it? There it is. On drums we have Mike McLean, and that's the photo of him somewhere, probably there. But actually, if we look across, it says drums on all tracks, Joe Nannini, and he just recorded this and then left the band, but not before they were able to put their new drummer in and photograph him with the band. That's rather cheeky, isn't it? It's got Chris Hillman doing some mandolin on it, and it's got Al Perkins, both of whom worked with Graham Parsons and other various country rock outfits over the years. A nice sounding album. If you haven't heard The Lonesome Strangers, check it out. Okay, this is Amber Waves of Grain by Merle Haggard. This is from 1985. We know that because it says it there. This, I looked at this, I thought, oh, brilliant. A Merle Haggard record. I like Haggard. Sadly, we lost him this year. So, you know, I'm trying to pick up as many of his albums as I can. Got it home, realised it was actually a live album. It doesn't look like a live album. Live albums don't normally have that sort of a cover. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, a little bit disappointed, to tell you the truth. I mean, as if I need another version of Okie from Muskogee, or Mama Tried, or Working Man's Blues. He has this thing of doing medleys. There are some good tracks on here. Better versions elsewhere. If you see this, unless you're a rabid Merle Haggard fan, I really wouldn't pick it up. Okay, I picked this up at the weekend. I just thought I'd bung it in here. This is, I mean, who could not buy this? Who could pass up East European hurdy-gurdy music by Robert Mandel? That there is the hurdy-gurdy, for people who perhaps don't know what a hurdy-gurdy is. It's, it's you sort of wind it like that, and it actually sounds a little bit like it works like the bagpipes. You have a droning sound, and then you play notes on top of it as well. So, yeah, this is the first half of the album. This is actually a Hungarian record on I can't even pronounce what the I tried to see this. It's on here. It's either Hungaroton label. So I'm not quite sure how it found its way. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure how it found its way to Hull. I mean to Leeds. Anyway, it's the first half. Really lovely sounding record. First side is Hungarian folk music, and then the second side we've got songs from Bulgaria, Poland, Ukraine, and Romania. And when I got this home, I suddenly noticed, looking through who's playing on it or singing on it, and we've got Marta Sebastian, who is a Hungarian singer who has the most amazing voice. I've got a couple of her records on the Hannibal label, and she crops up on various compilations I've got as well. She's one of those artists that have managed to sort of make it in the West very much as part of the world music kind of sector. So yeah, lovely sounding album. It kind of ties in a little bit with the Bulgarian Voices record I showed the other day, if those of you who saw it. Okay, this was one that actually made me swear in the charity shop where I picked this up. I was just looking through, and I'd just gone past the largest collection of Jose Iglesias records I have ever seen in my life. Who knew there were so many? And they'd all been dumped at this charity shop. And you know what? I bet you there's one Jose Iglesias record that is brilliant, but I'll never know which one it is. So anyway, I've been leafing through all the Iglesias stuff, really dodgy, nasty old copies of classical stuff and brass bands, and suddenly this popped up, and I went, "Fuck! Luckily, I don't think anyone heard me. I was I couldn't believe this turned up. It's absolutely pristine and white as well. And it is Ragtime soundtrack, music composed and conducted by Randy Newman. A big Randy Newman fan, don't have this. It's soundtrack to the film Ragtime. I haven't seen that either. But it's sort of incidental music. The main title and the song Ragtime are absolutely beautiful. There is some singing on here. Randy Newman does sing on here as well. I think it's got Jennifer Warnes on it as well, doing some singing. But it's mainly instrumental. But I'm very pleased to have that in my collection. What's that? It's from 81. Okay, a couple more. I'm taking my time, aren't I? I do apologise. Okay, this is... We've played Every Place More Than Once. Tommy Scott and Clyde Moody. This is on the Starday label. There. And this is from 1978. I find a lot of Starday records. Some Graham, Grebo 69, he was saying he just picked up a Starday record. And many of them seem to be sealed as well. And actually, a lot of them have this label on them. It says music-wise imports and deletions from Egham, Surrey. So maybe the company went bust. Did I say that on my last video? Do you know, I think I did. I do apologise. Anyway, so these are two old guys, by this time anyway, who both, was it Clyde Moody, played with various bands and bluegrass outfits, and Tommy Scott got his start with Charlie Monroe, Bill Monroe's brother, and they did various country stuff. Ended up on the Opry, and it's an interesting album, this, because the songs that are between Tommy and Clyde on this. And you can see there are some that say that they're both there. They are both of them, and some that are just Tommy on his own or Clyde on their own. And the songs that are them together, I would say, were recorded around this time in 1978. And the other songs sound much, much older, 1950s. I don't know where they come from. There's no information about that. That's the best thing about jazz. Jazz collectors are incredibly anal about who played on what, when it was recorded, what the name of the T-boy was, all that sort of stuff. Country music, well, we've got a list of musicians, but I assume that the musicians were from this later recording. Anyway, it's a nice kind of folky, bluegrassy, country, yeah, nice stuff. Okay. Penultimate one here, you'll be glad to hear. Jimmy Dean, Bumming Around. This is Jimmy Dean, probably most famous for his later song, Big Bad John. Bad John. And this has Bumming Around in it, which was a hit in the 1950s, I think, 53. I love that cover, though. It's just very nice. Very arty. I don't know what you'd call that. It's almost like Pete Mondrian or something. I'm sure there are art experts out there that could tell me what style that's in. And yeah, it's a lovely sounding sort of 50s kind of honky tonk album. Songs like I Found Out What I've Been Thinking, Nothing Can Stop My Love, Losing Game, Freight Train Blues, False Pride. Yeah, I understand now, if I got this wrong, but I understand he finally finished putting his name to sausages. You could buy Jimmy Dean sausages in the States. I think I got that right. Anyway, so Jimmy Dean, Bumming Around. And the last one is Jimmy C. Newman. Now, if you say I don't like progressive music, this is called Progressive CC. Yeah, I think that's progressive country Cajun. because that's what he was. He's sort of country Cajun. He was the first singer to sort of introduce Cajun music to the Opry and blend it in the 1950s. And this is later stuff. This is from, I think, 76, this album. And as you can see on the cover, he's got this black shirt and hat. And he's kind of going for that outlaw movement kind of aesthetic. 1976, you know, Waylon and Willie have just been doing their own stuff, and Chris Christopherson. So it ties in with that. And so there's slightly more rootsy versions of some of his older songs. We've got Alligator. They're all sort of, because I think he started on the Louisiana Hayride, which of course is no surprise, and then moved to the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, we've got songs like Alligator Man, Big Mamu, Louisiana Man, the Doug Kershaw song. We've got Jambalaya, Hank Williams song, and Jolie Blonde, which I love that song. Quite a few co-written or written by Tom T. Hall on here as well. Yeah, progressive music. Look at me. Okay, well that's it. That's the last one I'm showing there. That was a bit longer than I thought because I rambled as much as I normally do. So I should really know how long this is going to take. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I'm not naming you by names. I'm terribly sorry. Yeah, it's lovely to know that you know, every couple of days I get new subscribers popping up, and it's lovely to see. So thank you very much. It's humbling to know that there are people out there listening to my my inane ramblings while I show these records. So I'll be back with a final part of this collection. We're coming up to Christmas, so I'm imagining I won't be buying that many records. You never know, I might get some for Christmas. Not sure about that. But I have got a couple of other things I'm planning to do, so I'll be back soon. So until then, I've been another fat bearded man talking about records. Goodbye, VC.